Here's yet another Soviet clock. My Eastern European viewers are probably getting tired of seeing things that they know exist already. However, I am an American-based collector, so that is my only excuse. Anyway, though, when I discovered that this case design existed, I could not resist. I resisted for a little bit, but inevitably I gave in, because this is just such a silly little guy. And I love him. So I had to have him. He's Soviet made, he's by Slava, which you would be able to see, but the hour hand and minute hand are kind of covering that up. This is an 11 joule alarm clock movement. You're likely familiar with this one, which I have already made a video on. It is basically the same exact movement. A lot of these plastic cased ones do have plastic mainspring barrels for the alarm side of the movement. At least that's what it looks like in some of the pictures. So I purposefully went out of my way to find one that did not have a plastic mainspring. This one has a brass mainspring for the alarm. These little alarm clocks are rather noisy. Let you just hear this one. The plastic case doesn't do wonders for quieting the movement. This one is a lot quieter in comparison. I don't know how much that is defeated by these guys being right here, but they are loud in comparison to the Vesna. Viewing them both from the back, they are the exact same, aside from the dust cover / bell being black on the birdie and being blue on the little traditional alarm clock. All the birds in my clock collection have a name, so this one must have a name as well. Now, I'm aware that this is probably going to be cringe to a few of you, but I'm going to call him Comrade Chick, because that is a nickname that me and my friend came up with. So, if you have a problem with that, cry about it. Here's the inside of the cute little bird Slava alarm clock. And yes, I'm aware of the demented mouse pad. That is a drawing I made in first grade. I was very creative. Anyway, going through the things that we went through on the previous Slava, I mean, it's pretty much the exact same. This is the same Slava 5671 movement, which used to be 60M before it was recategorized. And I specifically chose one that did not have a plastic mainspring on the alarm side, because often these little plastic goobers would have plastic mainsprings for the alarm. However, this one has a brass gear. So that is good. Because it is a lot of fun to show the gears moving, I have wound up the alarm, and let's watch it go off with the cover off. Now, it's not going to sound like an alarm clock because the bell is off. Bell / dust cover. So. The alarm barrel is closed. So when the alarm is going off and you have the winding knob on, you don't see the winding knob move, or the winding key, if you will. It stays still, which is unlike the common Chinese alarm clock movements that you find basically everywhere. Those have open mainsprings, and you can watch the key turn as the alarm unwinds. So that's something worthy of note. I think a lot of American clock collectors are blinded by the prejudice that the entire United States kind of set for the USSR. So, oftentimes, they don't realize that there's actually some really solid clock designs that came out of the Soviet Union, like these. These watch-like alarm clock movements are arguably better than some of the West clocks movements that you would find in the market in the United States around the same time that these were made, the 1970s, 1960s, 1980s. But yeah, bottom line, at the end of the day, these movements are very nice. Also, just as a side note, there are exceptions to what I was saying. There were some really, really, really bad Soviet clocks. Just as there were really, really, really bad American clocks. So, it's important to be fair in that aspect, but there were also a lot of very, very solid designs, just like there were in America. I'm going to be keeping the Vesna and this little goober on top of my computer tower in my computer room because I like to have a bit of clocks everywhere. That's it though for now. I'm not sure if I'll get another Soviet clock or if I'll get something different. Probably something different so you guys don't get bored. But at the same time, I kind of want to collect what I want to collect, so maybe I'll get another Soviet clock. Anyway though, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye. I almost forgot to let you hear how this sounds, so let's do that right now. And because of that closed mainspring, this clock has a peculiarity in that you can ring it by turning that knob. Keep calling it a knob, but it's a key. Anyway, I don't really recommend you do that because there's not really a point. It's just a thing I thought I would mention that you could theoretically do if you wanted to, but again, I wouldn't really advise it. That was for demonstration purposes only. So yeah, I'll see you later. For real now.